In this video, you'll see how Jack Nicklaus broke Ben Hogan's made-up swing rules, and so can you if you want. So we'll be discussing two of Ben Hogan's rules. The two rules are the backswing plane, so you're never supposed to have your hands or club get above the backswing plane. He called it a pane of glass. You break the pane of glass and then break the shot. And then the other one was foot position. This is on page 24 of Hogan's book, where he's talking about the proper foot positioning. He says there is one correct basic stance. I mean, just how could one? The right foot is at a right angle to the line of flight, and the left foot is turned out a quarter of a turn to the left. Well, he's turning, it looks like he's turning a little bit more than Hogan would recommend. But here you can see that he's definitely flaring his right foot to the right, as opposed to it being perpendicular at a right angle to the flight line. So Nicklaus has clearly broken this rule, and I will show you how he breaks this rule in a second as well. But the most egregious rule breakers of all are some other guys. But before we go there, who else broke Ben Hogan's foot rule? Whose feet are these? Whose feet are these? Flaring out inappropriately. See the flare? Hogan wants it perpendicular. These are the feet of the great Sam Snead, a Hogan rule breaker. I kind of wonder actually if this section on page 23 and 24 where he doesn't understand it. Hogan is curious, how is it possible that great tournament golfers can win if they have their right foot flared out? I mean, that was an issue for Hogan, which should sort of tell you that you should probably realize that Hogan's book should have been called, My Swing, How to Swing My Way, as opposed to The Only Way to Swing. So here are the two most egregious pane of glass backswing breakers of all time. Here's Jimmy Bruin, and then of course Matthew Wolff, and maybe the worst, because Hogan spent no time with these guys. I wonder what Hogan thought when he watched this guy, Miller Barber, swing. Talk about a rule breaker. This guy breaks them all. So this is from page 62 and 3 of Hogan's book. Drawings demonstrate, so there's a drawing of Hogan with his backswing plane, backswing plane of glass. You can see that the arms and club remain below the pane of glass in all stages of the backswing. So he's showing his backswing and how Hogan's hands and club always are below the backswing plane line. So here's what he tells us. You are heading for disaster if you thrust your arms above the plane so that they would shatter the pane of glass. Seems a bit dramatic. How about you just swing your arms above the plane so that they shatter? You thrust them. Poor golfers make this error at any and all stages of the backswing, but it occurs most commonly when they are nearing the top of the backswing. So if your hands are up here at the top of your backswing and the club is over here somewhere, this means that you are hopelessly out of position, and these golfers will struggle to right themselves on the downswing, and invariably they can't, and they may hit the ball in every conceivable way and in all directions. I really kind of wonder if all the hardcore, die-hard Hogan advocates have actually read the book, and looked at these things. I had a guy interact with me the other day on the Amateur Golfers YouTube channel, or Amateur Golfer's Dilemma YouTube channel, the one you're watching right now. He's all about Hogan's book is the Bible, blah, 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 going on and on. Like, well, Nicklaus clearly did not follow the commandments in the Hogan Swing Bible. So let's watch his backswing. Ho, he's breaking the rule. Now, this would be Nicklaus. I mean, he could be late teens, maybe 20, whatever it is. But when he was a senior in college, he won the U.S. Amateur and the NCAA championship in the same year, the same as Bryson DeChambeau, maybe one or two other guys. So how could Nicklaus have been this good as a young guy and one of those tournaments if he's breaking the key rule of breaking the pane of glass? Let's move forward to, so let's say he's 20 years old here. We'll go 26 years ahead when Nicklaus is getting ready to win his last event on the PGA Tour. I think it was his last event. So this is the Masters in '86 when he came from behind to win. So let's look at the top. Is he still breaking the rule? Breaking the rule, winning the Masters in 1986. Really interesting when you think about these rules and how they really are rules that Hogan followed for himself. Now, you can follow his rules if you want, but clearly you don't have to. And I can tell you there are two rules that all great golfers followed. They all did this with, and it's never discussed, by the way. So although these swings look at Hogan's arm. His club is back here. Nicklaus is here, and Miller Barber to the sky. And then Jimmy Bruin and Matthew Wolff, they're way over here somewhere. Well, all five of those guys have two key swing issues in common. So what are they? Number one, they all set up to the ball at the distance that's proper for them so that when they go into the downswing, so this is the line right here, at impact, Nicklaus's head never goes above this line. In most cases, most pros are kind of going down and backwards. So they are at a proper distance from the ball. Most amateurs stand too close to the ball. So you want to back up from the ball. And the other thing is that all these pros, they, through impact and into the follow-through, their weight, particularly on the lead foot, is on the lead heel lateral arch. So their momentum is lateral and rotational. All pros have this. All elite amateurs do this. No matter what their swings look like, they are rotating on that lead heel. You can look at swings of any pro, and if you look at their feet, and no one does, you will see what I'm talking about. Their lead heels are very similar. May not look exactly alike, but they're either on the heel rotating, or they're on the heel and lateral arch, or they're on the lateral arch of the lead foot. They never have forward momentum. They're never on the balls of their feet ever during the swing. Now, the jumpers now, a little bit different, but I'm talking standard golf. And in this video, the amateur golfer's dilemma is not about how to be a long drive guy or to swing like Justin Thomas. It's how to suck less. So, first thing you need to do, realize, so this would be Nicklaus and Hogan set up. Miller Barber was more out here. For me, I have to be, this is my, if I stand any closer to the ball, I mean, I can probably pull off C. But for me, if D is much easier, if I'm closer than C, or if I'm in C, I may rise above during the downswing. But if I'm at D, I really do not stand up because I'm at the perfect distance from the ball that matches my minimal dynamic rotation movement skills. So the other thing that pros do is they stay off of the lead foot at impact. So they're rotating on that lead heel, lead hip axis. They got lateral and rotational momentum bringing them this way. Amateurs are going this way. So I created two simple drills to teach our brains how to use our legs better and to stay off of the forefeet, or stay off of the toes, stay on the heels dynamically. And I call this one here, the lateral lunge driver drill and the squatting driver drill. So these drills, they exaggerate the movements that pros make, because in the average amateur swing, we'd even remotely work our legs properly. So I created these two drills to teach my brain how to move better. And for both of these drills, you're never on your forefeet. You're always evenly balanced or more on the heels. And this is so I just showed pictures of these two drills in this video. And in this video, the lateral lunge driver drill, how to do it, I show the drill actually taking place. And when you watch it, you'll see there is zero pressure on my forefeet. You want to stay on the heels dynamically through the ball. Now, for the brain of us amateurs, we almost never have even sniffed the heels. I've worked with a bunch of my friends, and they've never sniffed their heels before. And so it's a brand new sensory experience for most of us golfers, most of us amateurs, because we're always on our toes. And that's when I realized that I have to actually learn how to actually strike the ball while I'm on purpose balancing on my heels. So you want to have enough momentum in your swing so that you strike the ball and move into a follow-through position. So watch that front foot actually point more this way. So I rotate it on. You can see how it moved. You can watch this little spot right here, and you can see how I moved off of it. There it is again. Right. So I rotated onto the lead heel through impact and into the follow through. Now, obviously, you don't do this when you're actually playing, but you want to do this so that your brain learns how to do it. So this will teach by swinging the club while you're balancing on your heels, and by learning how to do these leg drills, you will train your brain how to stay off of your forefeet. Just like the pros, the only difference, of course, is that I will never be as dynamic as them, but I can have less dynamic action in terms of rotation, less dynamic action in terms of my leg and foot work, but still get rid of the primary flaws that compromise all amateur golfers, and that is getting onto the toes and standing up through impact. So these are the two things to do, really simple. Get your setup position right, which I've discussed in multiple videos, and get your footwork right, which I've discussed in multiple videos, as well as multiple chapters and appendices in this book. So you can go right to Amazon and you can put in the name of the book and it will appear. You can look at the table of contents. There's 25 chapters and 5 appendices now. So a lot of information in that book, and I put Appendix 1 and 4 actually has like 50 pages on just about learning to swing from the heels dynamically, which is what almost every amateur does not do. So check it out.